Hello students, today in this video we are going to discuss about active transport. In our earlier videos we discussed about the passive transport, as well as we know that cell is the plasma membrane is the outermost layer of the cell, which allows or regulate the entry or exit of the substance. So let's see what is active transport. So active transport, basically 2-3 things we have to keep in mind, that active transport is a ATP required process. So this required ATP or energy for this transport. And second thing we have to keep in our mind, that it is the process is against the concentration gradient. It means that if there is a flow of solute from low concentration to high concentration. So here what happens, basically the substance or the molecules move from low concentration to high concentration. Usually we know that basically the things move from substance move from high concentration to low concentration, but here it is against the concentration gradient, and the substance and molecule move from low concentration to high concentration. So we can define the active transport that it is the process that involve movement of molecules of substance from region of low concentration to high concentration against the concentration gradient. So we understood this thing. And in this process required energy, means this process required ATP. So active transport is the transport in which molecules of the substance move from region of low concentration to high concentration. So let's take the illustration of this. That here this is the plasma membrane. We know that the plasma membrane present in the bilayer forms. So this is the plasma membrane, and this pink color is your carrier protein. Basically this protein change its shape and carry the solute from outer to inner part or from inner to outer part of the cell. So what happens in the active transport, here you will find there is a less number of solute. So here the concentration level is low. There is a low concentration. And this solute, with the help of this carrier protein and ATP, means energy, they move from low concentration to high concentration. Here the already solute particle is present in high concentration. So the substance or the molecule of substance move from low concentration region to high concentration region. So this is basically active transport. So first of all, what we have to keep in our mind, that active transport is a energy driven process, means energy is required for it. Second, it is against the concentration gradient. It means solute or the molecule of the substance move from region of low concentration to high concentration. So these are the few points that we have to keep in mind while studying the active transport. Now let's see the example where these active transport process occurs. Basically it occurs in both plants and animals. So some of the example is here. Uptake of glucose in intestine. So the glucose taken by the intestine is the active transport process. Uptake of minerals by root is also an active transport process. And sodium potassium pump, in your higher classes you will studied about the electrical signals through the neuron, so that obey the sodium potassium pump. And this is also active transport. It means there it is against the concentration gradient, and this whole examples need the energy for the transportation of the substance. Now, types of active transport. Basically, there are two types of active transport, that is exocytosis and endocytosis. So let's see what is this exocytosis and endocytosis. So here exocytosis, it is a process. Basically, sometimes the molecules are too large, or the substance of the molecules are too large, that they are not easily passed through the plasma membrane. So there is a process of exocytosis or endocytosis takes place. And both are the active. They both are active process of transport. So what happens in exocytosis? In this, the moving out of the material from the cell. So cell moves out the material that is not required for the cell. They just take away, they throw that material from the cell. And endocytosis is the opposite of this exocytosis, in which process same thing happens. The molecules are too large that they are not passes through the plasma membrane. So what happens? They get engulfed that particular substance. So let's take an example of endocytosis in amoeba. So here there is this is an amoeba, and here the food is present. So how this endocytosis process takes place? And this is pseudopodia. So the extended part, you are seeing here the extended part of the amoeba towards the foot, that is the pseudopodia, also called the false foot. And it just round up. By extending the pseudopodia, the amoeba get round up this foot particle, and then they engulf it. So this is an endocytosis process occurs in amoeba, and amoeba obtain its food in this endocytosis process. So same way the cells are also doing these things. The substance which is the molecules of the substance which is very big, too large that they can't pass through the plasma membrane, they just engulf that substance by the process of endocytosis. Our next and last one is our pinocytosis. It is also called cell drinking. Basically cell drinks or cell the fluid or the liquid taken by the cell through the enfolding of the cell membrane. So here what happened? There is a fluid or liquid substance or nutrient substance is present here. So plasma membrane just enfold itself, its membrane. So this is the membrane of plasma membrane. It enfold it and take the liquid or nutrient substance inside the cell. So these are the some process which required ATP, and it is important for the exit and entry of the substance.